Picture this. You're at a red light on a motorcycle that was made before most people in the comments were born. Engine ticking. Paint. Honest. And next to you pulls up someone on a brand new bike, the kind that costs more than some people's first apartment. They glance over. You know that look. It's not quite pity. It's not quite judgment. It's that specific confusion people get when they can't figure out where to place you. They think something went wrong in your life. They're wrong about that. And the psychology of why they're wrong and what it actually says about you is what this is about. Here's something nobody told you. Right now, at this exact moment, there are systems in place specifically designed to make you feel dissatisfied with things that are working perfectly fine. Not broken, not inadequate, working. And the goal of those systems is to create a gap between what you have and what you could have, and then make that gap feel uncomfortable enough that you spend money to close it. It works on almost everyone. You feel the pull and you think it's your own desire. It isn't. People who ride old motorcycles are some of the few people this system has genuinely failed to capture, not because they're resistant to pleasure, but because they've found a source of satisfaction the system can't touch. Something internal, something that doesn't require a new purchase to feel whole. And once you find that, once you actually locate that, you become very difficult to sell to, which is, quietly, one of the most powerful positions a person can occupy in the modern world. Ask someone who has been riding the same bike for 8 years why they don't upgrade. They'll say something like, "I just know this bike," and you might hear nostalgia in that, sentiment, a person holding on. Here's what's actually happening in their nervous system. Years of physical feedback from one machine gets encoded directly into the body. Not memorized, encoded. The subtle vibration that signals a specific problem. The exact lean angle where grip starts to go. The throttle response in cold air versus warm. This isn't something they know about their bike. It's something they know as their bike. The boundary between rider and machine has genuinely blurred at the neurological level. Psychologists call this procedural embodiment, and it is one of the deepest, most irreplaceable forms of knowledge a human being can develop. Every time you upgrade, you erase it completely. You go back to zero. You trade years of depth for a week of novelty. Most people make that trade without even realizing what they're giving up. Now, I want to tell you the part that doesn't make it into any sales pitch for old motorcycle ownership. It will break down. Count on it. Not as a risk, as a certainty. At inconvenient times, in inconvenient places, in ways that will test your problem-solving, your patience, and occasionally your willingness to continue existing. This is what you're signing up for. And it is the whole point. Think about what modern life has quietly taken from you. Almost every system around you now is designed to protect you from difficulty. Warranties, customer service, one-click returns, roadside assistance. But we have optimized away nearly every situation where you face a real problem with real consequences and have to think your way out of it with what you have. We called this progress. What it actually produced, slowly, invisibly, is a generation of people who have never found out what they're made of. The old motorcycle gives that back. It puts you on the side of a road at dusk with a problem you haven't seen before, no help coming, and exactly one option. Figure it out. And the people who stay with old bikes are the people who discovered in exactly that moment that they could. That they are, in fact, someone who handles things, not someone who calls for help, someone who solves. That knowledge cannot be bought. It cannot be given. It is only built, one breakdown at a time. And once you have it, the world feels different. Yet smaller problems stop feeling like emergencies. Uncertainty stops being something to escape. You've been tested by worse in worse conditions with less, and you got home. Here's a question worth sitting with. When you buy something, a bike, a car, clothes, anything, how much of that decision is about what you actually want? And how much is about what owning that thing says about you to other people? Be honest. For most people, the answer is uncomfortable. We use objects to build our identity in public, to signal where we belong, what we've achieved, who we are in the social hierarchy. This is so normal we don't even notice we're doing it. The new bike isn't just transportation. It's a statement, a performance, a daily argument that you are someone worth taking seriously. Old motorcycle riders stopped making that argument. Not because they gave up, because they no longer need to make it. Psychologists call this self-concept clarity, a stable, well-defined sense of who you are that doesn't depend on how other people respond to you. When you have it, you stop needing your possessions to speak for you. The bike is just a bike, a good one, yours. That's enough. And there is a specific kind of confidence that comes off people like this, calm, unperformative, slightly unnerving to those still caught in the performance, that no amount of new equipment can manufacture. You feel it when you talk to them. They're not trying to be anything, they already are something. The part that doesn't get talked about enough is what keeping an old motorcycle actually demands of you over time, parts that don't exist anymore. And repairs that require skills you haven't developed yet, problems that need to be researched before they can be solved, timelines that can't be hurried. There is no shortcut, no expedited option, no premium tier that makes this faster. What this builds, quietly, over years, is a capacity for delayed gratification that is increasingly rare and increasingly valuable. The ability to stay committed to something when the result isn't visible yet. To work on a problem over weeks without knowing if the solution will come. To find the process itself worthwhile rather than just the outcome. Research on this is consistent and unambiguous. People who demonstrate this capacity, in any domain, not just motorcycles, make better financial decisions, build deeper relationships, achieve more over time, not because they're smarter, because they don't abandon things the moment they get hard. That is a rarer quality than intelligence, and the old motorcycle has been quietly building it in its owners, one repair at a time. Here's what this actually comes down to. The entire modern economy runs on one feeling, almost. You almost have enough. Your life is almost complete. You're almost where you need to be. And the gap between almost and there, that gap is worth trillions of dollars a year to the people who know how to keep you feeling it. Old motorcycle riders closed that gap, not by acquiring more, by wanting differently, by developing an internal standard for what enough actually means and then meeting it. With something real, something earned, something that carries their history in every scratch and every kilometer. In a world that profits from your longing, the most subversive thing you can possibly be is genuinely, quietly, completely satisfied.